if you know anyone that overgives, no matter how much they say they're doing it because they care and they're doing it for other people, no, it's because you're operating of the fight mode and insecurity and you don't love yourself. You actually have a narrative that your worth is less than it actually is. So that was the big aha for me. And that's when I started investing in myself because I realized how can I become a better server, a better husband, a better father, unless I keep growing, right? It's not about what I do, but it's about how much my internal self grows and how much of a better relationship I have with myself. And all of the writing on the wall came out during that time. Another one was like, have you ever experienced this, whether it's as a child or other kids, where if they're having a tantrum melting down, usually the caretaker tries to distract them in some way? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
here's
it's like
some
they like
candy.
laugh at them
Yeah.
or,
Or
"Oh, that's so
let's
funny."
turn on the
Yeah.
TV. And I was doing that because it's just learned behavior from growing up. And I'm sitting there going, wait, hold on. Because I study all the neuroscience and stuff now. For the child, it's confusing because the child's going, wait, I'm really upset. And you're behaving in this way. It makes me, their narrative that they're creating, right? These feelings must be really bad because you
Mhm.
seem very anxious about my feelings. Oh, so I shouldn't feel these feelings.
I see.
Do you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the narrative that gets created in the child. So I'm realizing that going, why do I do that? Oh, I have a lot of trouble sitting with my feelings. So the moment you're feeling distress, I don't like that. So I react, I fight. How do I make you stop feeling this? Because I'm very bad at feeling these feelings
Mhm.
because I'm always reactive to these feelings. And therefore, all of the empathy's gone. The connection's not happening. It's a transactional, all that kind of stuff. So that's when I really started taking it a lot more seriously and going down the rabbit hole of all of this. One of the things I found helpful is when we get really good at being aware of the pain behind the behavior. If you can see the pain behind the behavior, then we don't get as judgmental. Then we actually start feeling empathy. Then we start
Mhm.
feeling compassion. Like one thing that helped me a lot, because I dealt with a lot of anger and resentment and other people who are really rude when they're angry and resentful too. The science behind that is anger is a secondary emotion. And what's behind the anger is always fear. If you go to a mama lion with its cubs, it's going to use anger to get you to back off because it's feeling vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that we're doing when we get angry. And it's so interesting because the narratives we started to create when we're afraid, your brain needs black and white thinking. If a tiger's in front of you about to eat you, you don't want to go to gray area and start sitting and you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's only in life-threatening scenarios you need black and white thinking. But that's what's causing all of the pain in the world is we've created a world where it's getting more polarized. I don't I'm not that political, but it's getting further left, further right, all that kind of stuff. Vaccine, no vaccine, pro-choice, pro-life, and it's two parties that are in such black and white thinking. There's no empathy. They just want to fight the other party and win. No one's willing to meet in the middle in this gray area. So what I realize is true strength, and I've watched relationships get saved. I've watched businesses get saved. I've watched people in pretty high places once they learn how to do this, like it makes a huge impact, is simply the skill, like true strength and resilience is that ability to just be with the feeling first. That's the first step, right? One way I describe it is like you ever see those fake scare scenes in the horror movies? Like
Mhm.
the bushes are rustling, the music's getting intense, out pops the cute bunny. I guarantee you, if you can do the same, like eventually, if you just train yourself, I'm just going to keep watching. It's not that bad anymore over time.
Mhm.
Oh, there's the bunny, there's the
Mhm.
cute thing. It's the same with our uncomfortable emotions. If we get good at the music's getting intense in our minds, the bushes are rustling, and you're feeling scared, and don't react. Don't grab that drink. Don't do this. Don't, whatever your usual reaction or numbing mechanism is. Out pops like the 5-year-old you, the 10-year-old you that created a narrative in that moment that I don't matter. I suck. And then you can actually develop a relationship with that kid. So the better we get at doing that, then you can see the second step is you can see the narrative you created. Oh my gosh, that's the moment I started believing money's hard to make. That's the
Mhm.
moment I started believing that I don't matter. And then just like you would take care of someone you love outside of you, you start taking care of yourself, going, hey, buddy, that's not true. I know you've been stuck in time when you're 10 years old. I have a lot of things to share with you.
Mhm.
And you know what? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. All this time I wouldn't share this stuff with you, huh? I always viewed you as the problem. I kept reacting to you, telling you I was too busy, I had work, or telling you, no, I'd rather watch Netflix or drink or whatever,
Not be with you.
not be with you,
Ignore you.
ignoring you so
Yeah.
much. And you know what the most humbling part is? that younger version of you, call it what you want, like, I have my own labels for it all, but that kid is infinite love. Meaning, like, you step into the room, that kid's just so happy to see you and just so happy to be with you, and you just start getting filled with so much gratitude, and there's so much that kid doesn't know that if only you told them, "Oh, yeah, this thing of you not mattering, that has nothing to do with you. Mom and dad had their survival issues too. They were just trying to get by. They were doing the best they can. It didn't mean you didn't."
I was on a flight and I tend to think much better on flights. And maybe it's just something about being higher up in the air. I think about bigger picture things. So I don't do any work on planes anymore. I sleep and I journal.
Mm,
And I was thinking about all the things that I like about friends or even like romantic partners that I might have had or want in one or about other people. It's so easy. My family, my nephews, it's so easy to point out what I like about them. It's so hard for me to point out what I like about myself. So I started begrudgingly.
mm.
I like that you read a lot of books. I'm like, this is stupid. I like that you're really into personal growth. I like that you face the music and take responsibility for it. Oh, it just felt so stupid. And then I wrote all the things I don't like. That was very easy.
Yeah.
And then I wrote this sentence and said, but even if these things never change, I still love you.
Yes.
And that was like, whoa, there was like a shift there. So I think I finally got to accept,
Yes.
just accept. And there's a million things that we can think about, right? I don't like how my body is, or I don't like this about my face, or I don't like how I think, or I'm too tall, I'm too short. It's like stuff that you literally can't change. And then there's other emotional things, right? Do you feel like you're at that point now where you accept? And when you work with clients and they get to that point, is that like a turning point?
Yes. I got a lot better at it, right? That's what I've putting in so much effort into. But yeah, like that's you're describing what would be the secret weapon is the ability to accept things the way they are, accept yourself the way you are. Because otherwise, you're too busy regretting the past and you're stuck in that world of, like, oh, I wish this was different. So if it should have been different, it would have been what should have happened, right?
Yeah.
Or you're busy in the future going, I don't like this thing right now. So I'm busy off in the future. And then your empathy, you see what I'm saying? Your
Yeah.
empathy's turned off. You continue to use people. You continue to go in transactional relationships. The moment you can accept things the way they are right now, that's the skill. And the hardest part for people is because it's uncomfortable to accept the way things are right now and still have your own back anyway. And I think that's everything. So what I realized, I was very fortunate with like having the viral article that helped launch my coaching business and all of that. But I realized that was the secret weapon for me in my coaching sessions. I trusted their feelings. A lot of coaches, they're very crappy coaches in the beginning because they get very uncomfortable when your client is having a meltdown or like a really tough scenario and they're busy trying to like in the fight mode, let's fix this, let's fix this. I learned very quickly to accept it, being like, okay, there's something here. It's trying to communicate with my client. My client's feelings is trying to talk to my client's mind to try to help my client's mind get back in balance. I will trust these feelings. I'm okay. I accept, like, I don't react to their feelings. And I just sit there no matter how crazy the story gets. The stories of, and I cry too, right? In some of these stories, I'm like, I'm bawling too. But I know these feelings are trying to help my client. So I learn to accept it and I help guide them to try to help them accept it too. And the moment they accept it, is the thing that frees them to start accepting the truth. And the truth is always actually empowering. All those narratives we create, the moment you realize, wait, this isn't real at all, it's just like the best feeling ever. And then when they have that moment, they're like, because you feel it in the moment. And it has everything to do with acceptance. It's I accept him. Does my client accept him? That's what I realized was made me an effective coach because a lot of coaches don't accept their clients' feelings. They view it as a problem. I got to fix you. I'm like, that's not how this works. And yeah, I think that's the gift that the science has shown me on like how to navigate that. I know a lot of great therapists know this too, right? But that was the key is acceptance.